Okay, we're ready. Wagons, ho! One more time.
If you look closely to it, you'll see that some of the wagons lack a little off the shape. There are more rubber tires than wood spoke wheels, and Coleman coolers and propane cookers are almost as common as boots. But we're not just talking about a material sense of history. These people, 40 wagon loads, have been stretched every year from southern Oklahoma to New Orleans in commemoration of the Freedom Our drive is long. There are some people who care nothing at all about history. Others like to read about it in books. Others, like the ones on this wagon train, simply live it.
You can't have a live party unless you got live people.
I heard that.
Find out how live they are. Give me a beat, let's get this thing going. Come on. Give me a rhythm to start this thing out on. Give me something to warm this place up.
The magic is energy.
Yeah.
Sometimes, some days, the crowd's got it and I don't have it. And that's okay because I can get it from them. Some days I have it and they don't have it, and vice versa. I can pass it to them.
His name is Will Soto. He's a performer. His theater is the street. Soto juggles. Lad practices magic of hand, eye, and mind. It goes beyond mere tricks.
I told y'all, it's...
Hey!
See, it's just, there's something. See, it's just, there's something. Just so fake. Hello.
Candy, it's not
Too good of a trick.
Can I see that balloon pop?
Sure.
Yay.
Soto and a partner, Don Hill, are from Key West, Florida, and 6 months out of the year they perform at festivals like this one. They lay down a beat of entertainment that turns bystanders into audience.
Come on. Hold it.
Long before stage doors and footlights, theater was under the sky. For Will Soto, it still is.
Okay. Yeah, who's it?
Watch, he's gonna like that. Watch him.
The black. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's gather up. Looks like the water's up above what the gauge level indicates. It's moving downstream at a fairly good clip on some of these rapids, I think. And we'll kind of, see where we go from here as we move on downstream. The TV man is going to kind of follow us down and do his thing. Kind of just try to ignore him and let him do whatever he's doing. Unless he gets in your way, and then you have to run over top of him. Okay, remember the water is still cold even though it seems warm. Okay, but go easy, babe. Because I don't know where we can eddy out. Let's get... Okay, right here, Eddie.
We look at it like quail hunting.
And it's challenging. You don't go out there with a gun.
A lot of people use gasoline. We don't. We just take the sport out of it.
It's not legal around here neither.
They hunt what most people would avoid. They're members of the Okeene JCs, sponsors of the oldest rattlesnake hunt in the country. Their quarry is found in the windswept hills above the Oklahoma prairie.
It's right there. Is that healthy?
Yeah, it's been scarred up, you can see, but it's...
The diamondback rattler is designed by nature to inspire fear and fully equipped to back up the threat. The Okeene JCs are used to handling the snakes, but still, they respect the fangs. The fangs on this one are broken, and the skin is scarred. It will be released. Eventually, the snakes that are kept will be skinned out, the hide used for billfolds or hats. The flesh will be fried like a chicken. Some say it tastes better. But the important part to these men is that the rattlesnake provides a sport, a deadly game that writhes beneath the rocks of western Oklahoma.
Yeah, he went out.
It's kind of an Okeene quail hunt, minus dogs, minus guns, plus fangs.
Okay, well, let's try. There's another hole over there. We can try it, and I bet you we'll get some.
Okay.
Pretty cool. Got my tongs.
Yeah, he went out.
Meet some old friends of mine, Mr. and Mrs. Howard Metcalf. I just met them yesterday. But friendship with the Metcalfs is as easy and natural as tapping your feet to music. Howard was born on this ranch 75 years ago, and he's been collecting pieces of history ever since.
We have hundreds of people come here a year, and they bring their classes here, and the young people, you know, don't understand. Just like that thing right there is a 1910 model potato digger, and a lot of young people here, 15, 16 years old, don't even know what a heating stove is. They actually don't know how to build a fire, and I like for people to enjoy it and see what the old timers had to use. Now, this is an old-time washing machine. I don't know how old it is. I've had it several years. I bought it down at Mangum, Oklahoma. And it's just in perfect running order. There's a dasher to it.
It's not a museum, but Howard is willing to show off the fragments of time that have been stored away in his barn and in his mind. He's collected hundreds of things from the past he's lived through, but he has an appreciation of history that's more than just objects. It's feelings and emotions that are stored away in things that could have been thrown away.
Well, this is an old jukebox that came out of a beer joint over here at Texola, Oklahoma. And it still plays pretty good. Needs a new needle, but it's... When you get home, everybody swing. Do an element left to your left hand. Here we go, right, left hand, right, and the left and around that ring. And when you meet that pretty little thing, promenade 'em 2x2 and get on home, you rascal, you. Now, ladies to the center and back to the bar. Gents to the center with the right-hand star.
The Metcalf Ranch is a square mile of western Oklahoma, a fair-sized piece of land. Most of the cattle here now are antiques themselves, longhorns, like the ones once driven from Texas to America's dinner tables. Howard has lived his entire life here, 3/4 of a century. He's done more than just live it. He's learned to love it, and occasionally laugh at it.
There's just one other person laid down the river here, and myself, that's still living on the river. All the other ones have all moved to town or passed on to the great beyond, you know. The girls, when I was a young fellow, why, they used to smile at me, and then later the 40-year-old women did. Now it's nothing but the Undertaker. Oh, the Undertaker, you'll slap me on the back and call me Howard, you know. And so I thought, well, hey, he's getting gray-headed. Maybe I'll outlive him yet. Bob was here the other day. Why, he introduced me to a real young Undertaker. So I play a losing game. I just play a losing game, I'll tell you for sure.
Somehow I doubt that. If anyone's keeping score, I think Howard Metcalf is way ahead.
You have to retrieve one flag from each quadrant, which means you'll wind up with one of each color. And having not been hit, if you can get out into the safety zone in the shortest amount of time, you're the winner.
Carl McCowan may have come up with the ultimate game. He calls it survival.
You haven't been disqualified.
The participants are a Duke's mixture of military and civilian players. The object is to capture a combination of flags placed around 80 acres of woods that belong to McCowan. The trick is to avoid getting shot. Fortunately, getting shot in this game is a temporary thing. The bullets are paint. This is war, without dying, just the pleasure.
There you go. We got a hit.
Number one right here.
The players are positioned around the perimeter of the 80 acres. There are no teams. Every man is on his own. He comes up with his own strategy, and it can be as daring or as cautious as he wants. The flags, 4 different colors of them, are in 4 clearings across the 80 acres. Carl McCowan gives the signal to start the game. Last Saturday, the players were extremely cautious. There were a few paint gun battles, but you won't see any here. They took place deep in the woods, away from the camera. The players were so cautious that no one really won Saturday. After the 2.5-hour time limit was up, no one had the required 4 flags. McCowan says that will change as more people get used to the terrain. They plan to play this game here every weekend. McCowan says there's a waiting list of people who are just itching to get into the fray. It would seem that once you eliminate those minor little details, death and destruction, war can be downright fun. It's a way of life that has fascinated men and boys since steel wheels first rode on rail. Carl Fancher is an engineer, the son of an engineer, the grandson of an engineer. There are 3 generations of railroading in his hands. Fancher went to work for the Santa Fe 32 years ago. Sometime about 1966, he gave up the long haul for the short run. Now he pilots a switch engine. There seems to be a lot of built-in romance about the railroad, even for people who work on it. The steam engines may be gone. Even most of the passenger trains are just part of the past. But sometimes, it would seem that the entire history of our country can be heard in the locomotive wheel. Fancher feels it. He says this is the only thing he's ever really wanted to do. A lot of men with white collars and business suits will trade him jobs in a minute, just for a chance to blow the whistle.
Now on this again, we're going to run 2 of them, that's all. Let's go all out. The first one, give you a 10-minute break. We'll come back and go all out the second one, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll run some 220s afterwards, and that's it. And then
Kelly
the rest of the
Cathy
week
is
will be
about
over
a nickel
distance.
shy
So really
of 100
go out
pounds,
hard on
a
this
year
now,
short
so
of
try to get a good
21,
time.
and probably the fastest woman in the world.
All right, go ahead. You want to go ahead.
All right, ready, go. Let's try to go 64, 65, all the way through. Even though she's way behind running with the men, it pulls her along to where she's running some good times. And if the women were running, it'd be way behind her. So consequently, she wouldn't have the competition or the people to pull. So she's gaining by running with the guys, and yet doesn't get discouraged because they're way out in front of her, because she knows she's running real well. 26, come on. Right, keep her going. 64, 65, 66. 68. Good job, Kelly. Keep her going. Come on. 14. She's small in stature. Her legs kind of go out from the knee outwardly, kind of like a duck. But I think her heart makes up for her body size and determination and desire that she wants to become somebody. And it already has, and she's just completely surpassed what I thought she would do this year. So it takes a special kind of person to do what she's doing.
Kelly's specialty is distance, in particular the 10,000-meter run. She starts that 6 miles as if it were a sprint. No woman in this country can even stay close. She wasn't recruited heavily out of high school in her native Arizona. Her running style is unorthodox, and in a world of muscle and strength, she looks delicate. Track and Field magazine ranks her as the #1 contestant in the world in the 10,000 meters. Earlier this year, she unofficially broke the world's record for that event. Unofficial because she was competing against
awards will be given in
79. 79. You're right on it, honey. Right on it.
Last Friday, she broke the Big 8 record. It would seem that Kelly Cathy's world is getting faster and faster. The only one keeping up is her shadow.